I want you to feel confident walking into any room. So many of us are not, and that used to be me too. And today I'm going to walk you through how you can build clarity of your message and confidence to put it out there. If I had $1 for every time a woman said to me, I know I need to put myself out there, but I just don't feel confident enough. Well, let's just say I could fund a whole nother day with the Queen. Here's the truth. Your voice is your most powerful business tool, and yet it's the one we're most afraid to use. Whether it's speaking on stage, showing up online, or leading a team, how you communicate shapes everything. So today we're talking about how to lead with your voice. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room. The clearest, most confident, most authentic one, yes, but not the loudest necessarily. And we're going to unpack 3 things you can do to find that. We're going to talk about how you build confidence through clarity, how you communicate with courage, and how you connect with community. This episode is for every woman who knows she's capable of more, but sometimes doubts whether her voice really matters. It does. It does really matter. And the moment you start showing up as you, everything changes. Your business, your leadership, your impact. So let's dive in. Let's start with the foundation. Confidence doesn't come from practice alone. It comes from clarity. I had a client, her name was Kathy, who came to me before her very first keynote. She said, Emma, I'm terrified. What if I forget what to say? We've all been there. We've all been there. So I asked her one question. What's the one thing? What's the one message you want every woman in that room to remember? She paused. She thought about it. And she said that they don't need permission to lead. One sentence. Clear, simple, powerful. That one sentence became her anchor. When the day came, she stood tall, she spoke from her heart, and she owned the room. Because here is what I know. Clarity like that builds confidence. When you know your message, you stop worrying about how you sound and you start focusing on all the other people in the room that you are serving. I just want to tell you a little story about when I first started doing video. I was petrified of doing video. But I knew that that is what I needed to do. This was my business, and if I was going to be the CEO and if I was going to teach others that they needed to show up and do the things, I had to show up and do the things. I was terrible at it. But you know what I told myself? I told myself, no one's listening. Everyone's so consumed with themselves that they're not even watching you. And for some reason, that freed me up. Now, that was 8-9 years ago, right? I still turn up all the time on video without makeup because that's who I am, in my activewear because that's also who I am. And it's so interesting to me that people are like, you're so good at it. I'm like, hey, go back 10 years. Not good at it. The question I want to ask you right now is if you had 1 minute to speak to the world, what would you say? That's your core message. Get clear on it, practice it, and let it guide every communication from client calls to Instagram captions. P.S. I feel like I need to say this. You've probably heard this on this podcast before, but the tongue has amazing memory. So when you practice it, do it in front of the mirror so you see what you look like. When you practice it, you trip over the words that you don't really need, and you'll get super clear with that message. The people that do this, you can tell that they've done it. You can tell that they've been here before. You can tell that they've tried it. Whenever I do any kind of speaking gig, whether it's running a workshop, doing a keynote, any of that stuff, I'm always practicing it. I might look like a nutter on the side of the road when I'm doing my steps in the morning, saying it out loud, just saying. But we've got to get clear and we've got to practice, and we have to practice out loud. Because what it sounds like in your head will be nothing like what it sounds like when it comes out of your mouth. Then I want you to think about, once you've got that clarity, it's then time to show up. Even when you're crapping your ducks, even when it feels so scary. When I first started doing the videos, I'm like, I sound weird. I sound tired. My background's messy. And I got sick of myself and went, just do it, Emma. Just suck it up and do it. And people weren't judging me. In fact, the videos that did well were the things when I didn't mean for them to do well and I was just being myself. Isn't that amazing? So I just had to start showing up anyway. You can show up wobbly, unscripted and real. I have been in many situations when the women have been so nervous and they've said to the audience, I'm so nervous. And that audience, oh my goodness, they have their back, right? They have their back. And they push through and they get high-fived and it's amazing because no one else wants to be on that stage. No one else wants to be on that stage. And sometimes when I step up to stage, I think to myself, no one else wants to be here. No one else in this room wants to be here. I'm the only turkey doing it. So here I am. Would I rather be up there just standing there nude? Yes, because I'm fine with that. But, it is what it is. So it's the power of courage. It's not the power of perfection. We have to just be courageous to push through the discomfort. And if you want to take it further, say yes to visibility opportunities before you feel ready. Say yes to speaking events, to panels, to podcasts. You don't have to have it all figured out to start. You just need to get cracking. What I'd love you to do this week is do one thing this week that stretches your visibility muscle. You might go live. Okay, that might be too much of a push. You might post a video, but you might go live. You might share a story. You might pitch yourself for an event. You might pitch yourself for a podcast. Confidence grows by doing. You've got to take action. Confidence and communication doesn't grow in isolation. They grow in community. I firmly believe that. When you surround yourself with women who get it, we all know something shifts. You borrow their courage until you find your own. They hold you knowing that this is really hard for you. And one of my clients was a perfect example of this. Her name is Marissa, and she owns a beautiful business in the UK, a leadership business empowering women. She crosses across Spain and the UK to do this, and she works with helping women step into their leadership space. Oh, the irony. At first, she struggled to speak publicly about her mission. She worried she wasn't ready, wasn't good enough, didn't want to do it. We had to work on her story, we had to work on her message, and we had to work on her presence. And she just started practicing in smaller circles, at intimate events and within her community. She's just finished leading a conference for 500 women in London. Yay! That takes guts. That takes guts. And she certainly didn't wake up fearless. She built it one room at a time, one audience at a time, one message at a time. And she surrounded herself with the right people. That's the power of connection. Being seen by others who believe in you before you believe in yourself. So your step is, if speaking or visibility or showing up feels daunting, start by finding your practice audience. It could be a real intimate group. It could be your book club buddies, whatever it is. It could be in your mastermind, your team, with some clients. The more you speak in safe places, the more you can find your voice, the easier it is when you get into bigger rooms. So this is what I'd love you to remember today. Clarity gives you confidence. Know what it is that you stand for. Courage gives you momentum. Show up even when you're scared. And community gives you the strength because you don't actually have to do it alone. Your voice has power, not because it's perfect, but because it's your own. And when we speak with conviction and connection, we give others permission to do the same. If you're ready to step out from behind the curtain and into your next level of visibility and impact, we would love to help you. Your voice deserves to be heard, and the world is waiting for what you have to say.